Hey guys, today we are talking about serum concealers. A couple of brands have been coming out with their versions of it, and honestly, it just sounds so good to me. If it's anything like their foundation counterparts, then we're talking lightweight, good coverage, and skincare benefits. So, I mean, really, it sounds all good to me. So I got my hands on the ones that I can find, and I really wanted to do a comparison. I wanted to see if they varied much and see which one was the best. So I've pretty much been trying out these concealers for about the last month now. And I even did the whole, actually every single day I would walk out with one side one concealer and the other side another one, so that I can really properly compare how they last, how they look, and all that stuff. There were even days where I would wear serum concealer on one side and some of my regular concealers, my favorites, on the other side, just to compare. And so this was really kind of a thorough experiment, which, I don't know, I kind of found it was fun. As far as the skincare benefits go, I think it's always a little hard to tell, but something definitely distinguishes these from the regular concealers, which is they're hydrating. I would say with the serum concealers, they seem more for the purpose of under eye concealing. They are very lightweight, and they're great for covering what's under your eye in a very natural way. But if you need to cover up any kind of spots or acne scarring or anything like that, then these don't do the greatest job of that. So I'm going to go through these products starting from my least favorite to my favorite. But you have to know that even my least favorite is not all that different from my favorite. It's still very good. So the surprise to me is that the first product I'm about to introduce, which sort of came out at the bottom, is actually Bobbi Brown's. This is their Intensive Skin Serum Concealer. This is their new release that came out over a month ago, and actually this is the product that made me interested in serum concealers. This has a doe foot applicator, and you use that to dot under your eyes and then you blend it out. I always use my fingers to blend out concealer because I feel like it just does a better job. You know, I like pressing the concealer into my skin rather than blending it out over the surface. I just feel like it's that much better for those little pesky fine lines. So the coverage of this is decent. It's not unlike a lot of the other lightweight concealers out there. The problem with this one though is that it fades quicker than the other formulas. So this one would, at the end of the day, I would see some discoloration show through or some of the darkness show through, whereas the other side would be still a lot better covered. But there were a couple of days where there was a little bit of cakiness going on. I think it really depends on the way you apply it and what you have on underneath. But there was a little bit of a tendency for that. This one also happens to be the most expensive of all of them at $40. So personally, I just feel like I wouldn't advise other people to spend that kind of money on their serum concealer when there are other ones that are at least just as good. Next is Sephora's Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. This serum is $14. This actually applies better than the Bobbi Brown one. It blends out better. And it just applies very well. It's, you know, I think that has to do with the fact that it's sort of a gel formula. I feel like this dries to a finish that's a little more matte than the other ones, but that's just on me. It does settle tiny bit into the lines, not more so than any other normal concealer out there, and definitely not more so than the Bobbi Brown, which I think has more of a tendency to do so. This is a similar application process to Bobbi Brown, where it's got this doe foot applicator and you dot it on and then you blend from that point. There's so many shades. It definitely stays throughout the day, and this is a very good concealer, and the price is fantastic. And the first runner-up is Bare Minerals. It is the Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. If you like Urban Decay's Naked Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer, then you will really love this because it reminds me so much of that one. It's weightless, it's very lightweight, it applies like a dream. In fact, out of all the concealers, this applies so well. And if you've ever tried their Bare Minerals Serum Foundation, that foundation blends like crazy. It blends so well, which is why, like, they always say, well, you just need 2 drops for your entire face, and you're like, are you kidding me? And then you realize that it goes such a long way. The same goes for this. The blendability factor is really amazing. It sort of glides on your skin. I absolutely love this serum concealer. You know that with Bare Minerals, it's got a lot of good stuff in there. It doesn't have a lot of bad stuff in there. And it's only $20. It's half the price of the Bobbi Brown one. This has great coverage. It stays on all day. It looks very natural on your skin. And you know, it's hydrating. The coverage on this, I feel, is slightly better than the others without feeling heavier or even looking heavier at all. I feel that you could probably even get away with covering some scars. This is also very brightening. It boasts to have HD coated, mineral coated optics, which counteracts the shadows. This is by far the best, most blendable out of every single one I tried. This has hydrating humectants. It is not drying at all. This is a fantastic concealer. So the winner of my experiment came as the biggest surprise to me. I was seriously not expecting it at all. And it is this one from L'Oreal. It is the Visible Lift Serum Absolute Concealer. Guys, this is $12.99, and this has a lot of really good stuff in there for your skin. Seriously guys, this one has the most natural finish out of all of them. The coverage is just as good as the Bare Minerals one. Plus there's one aspect in which this is by far superior to all the others, which is the setting power. Once you use this and once it sets, it seriously does not budge throughout the day. In fact, if you swatch it on your hand and you don't use it right away and you try and wipe the concealer off, it stays on there, but it is not drying. It is definitely very hydrating and moisturizing. This has sodium hyaluronate in it. It's got pro-retinols, it's got vitamin C. I mean, it makes your skin look good and smooth. This also has haloxyl in it, which is very effective for reducing the appearance of dark circles. I'm kind of a skeptic when it comes to labeling claims. When something says visible lift, you know, or brightening, I'm kind of like, yeah, well, okay. But you know, honestly, when I wear this and in comparison to the other concealers I use, there is a little bit of brightening going on, which gives it an appearance of being just a little more wide awake and lifted. The other thing is this brush is surprisingly good to use. The application is very nice. It brushes on just the right amount. And it doesn't blend out as easily as Bare Minerals, but the fact that you can sort of brush it on and you're not dotting it on makes you not have to put so much work into blending it out and spreading it out across your under eye. I'd say the only issue with this is when you're twisting the product out, it does tend to come out in a huge ball at the bottom of the brush, but I mean, that's not, but as soon as you put it on your eye and then spread it out, it's just perfect. So if any of you guys have tried any of these or use any of these serum concealers, I would love to know what your experience with it has been. But otherwise, I hope you found this helpful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!